What leverage does the United States have on issues like, for example, Syria, where Russia is just completely abstaining from dealing with reality? They say, look, we think the Syrian regime is fine. We're not going to do anything about this. When it comes to the Caucasus, which they consider to be sort of their backyard, what they're doing in Georgia, what leverage does the United States have, whether it's Barack Obama or Mitt Romney as president? What can they do to try to get more from the Russian side of things?
Well, this is an excellent question. I mean, this is the world's other superpower. Truth be told, there's not much leverage. We had a bit of leverage in the 90s when the Russian economic situation was bad, and they depended on the international financial institutions in part to keep them afloat. Right now, they're flush with oil money again, although that may change with shale gas and other things that are going on that would make Russia's oil cheaper and will not allow them to throw their weight around as much. But at the moment, not much. You know, in international relations with powers that are militarily your equal, it's largely, you can't coerce, you have to trade. You have to have a quid pro quo, you have to give them something in order to get it. And this is where reset came in. You know, we wanted Russia to help us in Afghanistan. We wanted Russia sort of to help us in Iran. But the most important thing that the administration wanted, and that was Obama's ideological imperative, is the reduction of nuclear weapons. Not arms control, although that's what it was called. Reduction. Remember what he said in Prague in 2009. We are looking forward to the world without nuclear weapons. That's where he comes from. That's his milieu. That's what they want.
Leon,
and
I have a question for you.
There was this meshing, you know.
Wait, Leon, hold on. Leon, we have. Hold on 1 second.
Sorry, before we get too far along, I did want to ask you one question that I have, and I would think some of our viewers do as well. I want to understand the changing dynamics here. What has changed from before? Before, the Russians were willing to go along with it. Now they don't have to. Is it merely because they have more money from oil? They're just wealthier than they were in the past, or they have more political stability? What has changed that allows them to withdraw from this arrangement?
What has changed is Putin's domestic design and his strategy in U.S.-Russian relations. He signaled it right away, and like I said, he signaled it with the change of attitude towards Iran. They're not helping us at all. A very hard line on Syria, and this is just another step. In other words, yes, they have more money, but they were flush. In fact, they had more money in 2008 when oil was $140 a barrel. Money is not an issue here. It's a signal. It's a policy that's consistent, and I think we should be prepared for a very frosty, rainy January, whoever is the president.
Leon, I want to bring this back a little bit to our domestic affairs and talk about a position that Mitt Romney has taken on Russia and play you some sound from his advisor, Dov Zakheim. Let's play that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a full screen. I'll put it up and I'll read it to you, Leon.
Okay.
He says the reset policy has been a complete disaster, partly because the administration has simply not understood how to deal with Russia. Russia is pursuing a classic policy that Russia has pursued since at least Peter the Great. If they perceive you to be strong, they will work with you. They do not perceive us to be strong. That seems to be conventional wisdom and a sort of hawkish position to take. Do you agree or disagree? I
think that's part of it. But I also have been the proponent of the position that foreign policy is the reflection of domestic policy. When your domestic values are coincident or somewhat closer to the ones that of the United States, if you're talking about Russia, then we see a better relations. I mean, this was under Gorbachev, this was under Yeltsin. Putin decided that domestically he is going to take the country in a rather hardline, repressive direction. And under such circumstances, good relations with the United States do not really help him. And I think that's why he's doing what he's doing.
You know, this is going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We have a foreign policy debate coming up between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. Yeah. You guys remember the moment when Mitt Romney said Russia is our #1 geopolitical threat, to which he received laughter, right?
Scoffs.
Laughter from all over. But I think Buck and both Lee and I have pointed out not just one, not just two, but numerous things now that Russia presents a threat on. And I would add to that, I think news today that Turkey intercepted a Russian airliner heading to Syria loaded with armaments and defense equipment for the Syrian ministry.
Russia, and I think everything Leon says supports this, Russia will bully if it can get away with bullying. And the reality right now is that is it a monstrous hydrocarbon economy. It provides a lot of necessary energy into Western Europe. You know, we like to think the EU is going to stand up to Russia. They can turn off the natural gas pipelines into Germany. They can do things that make life a lot more difficult, and that has immediate domestic political resonance. So when we talk about diplomacy, getting them to work with us or do things that we want, we're just looking to try to find common ground and to defend our interests because they're defending theirs. They're pushing into Georgia with whatever they want. They're doing what they want.
And Romney's spoken to this.